Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to run a Lego / game store in an extremely small space. My name's Dave. This is our channel that has shared our Lego investing journey that has morphed into the creation of a Lego / game store. And so hopefully you find the information that I'm about to share to be useful and exciting or interesting. So we have a brick-and-mortar Lego game store in Oxford, Michigan. If you're in our area, come on and stop by. Love to chat with all of our customers. But we have roughly around 600 square feet, and that is including the restroom facility. So it's a very small space, which means that just about everything we do here has to be thought out fairly well, and sometimes means that we're kind of stepping all over each other. So I figured I'd kind of go around the shop, show you a little bit about some of the chaos that we have going on, some of the areas that I wish I could change, maybe even some of the reasons that I can't. And maybe if you are looking to open a game store or Lego store, you'll be able to use some of this information to help make decisions about how much space you think you should need and go after. So I guess let's go ahead and get this camera flipped around and show you some of the things that I've been fighting just today. So why not start in the area just from a different angle than we just were, which is behind the counter. So this is kind of our employee counter workspace. And as you can see, it's not a whole lot. We want to have a chair back here. Honestly, this chair gets used by me more often as a table or countertop space to work on than I actually sit on it. I spend most of the day standing. It'd be nice to sit down occasionally. However, I am a little bit of a busybody, so that doesn't bother me so much. But the lack of countertop space to work with for pricing items, for storing items, for packaging items, all that stuff goes crazy. Okay, had a brief interruption there, had some customers stop in the store, but really what I was just conveying is the fact that I don't have a lot of workspace when I'm doing things like pricing, inventory, and holding something for a customer while they're continuing to shop. It really kind of makes it hard. I would highly recommend making sure that you have maybe even a full table to work with. Like I've got this table down here that you can kind of see where I've got some extra product on it. We've got some drinks on it. I've got tissue paper to end up throwing in our gift bags, but it's really turned into a little bit of a landing ground, and I can't work on it. So this here, one table maybe for some storage and landing, another table legit just to be able to work with. Okay, so I've got it zoomed out so you can see almost the entirety of the floor space. I've got a center display. I've got two tables that, as you can see, when we're not actually using for tabletop games, I've actually had to cover with merchandise to make sure that people shopping for the holidays, which is where we're at, can actually see more of the product that we have available. It's just one of those things that are really hard. So in a small space, I've leveraged all of the wall space that we possibly can. The problem with floor fixtures in the middle as a game store is the fact that when I put something in the middle, it takes away from the area that people can sit and play. And so we started off with a lot more stuff actually in the middle of the floor. We had these shirt racks over here. We ended up having another one of those that sat basically where this table was. And then we had that bin, and we had something else here. I don't exactly remember what it was, but anyway, we had more fixturing out here. But when we had to do a game table and do our layout a little differently so that we can host up to 12 people in the store, we had to get rid of one of those fixtures, which did remove some inventory from the store. And so now this table here, normally I'd pack it up and it'd be a little bit more open, but because of the holidays, I really wanted to get that product out so people could browse. So I've got this table up right now. Doesn't necessarily look the best, but it makes it very visible that there's stuff for people to browse. So it's definitely a big consideration is, do you have enough wall space in the store to put the stuff up that you want? Now, let me show you the game section. All right, this time you're going to hear me behind the camera. So honestly, the trading card game section by itself doesn't take up a ton of room. Like, this is probably the most space efficient thing that I have in the store. So if you were legit just doing a pure game store, you might actually be able to get away with about 600 square feet and have room to play, because you wouldn't need all of this other shelving out here for Lego sets. You could end up having one section of slat wall or whatever kind of shelving you want for all your trading cards. You could end up doing the displays, which I have as a mess right now, but I've got singles down there and a bunch of extra boxes. This display over here is Lego minifigs, which you wouldn't have in a game store. You would end up probably using this for more singles, at least the expensive ones. Some more pack kind of stuff out on the counter. You would still have that. And then you would end up doing maybe a little bit more slat wall for some of the larger products, which is what I have over here. Charizard box, the bundles, the ETBs, deck boxes, deck sleeves, and dice. Oddly enough, dice are something that I found are commonly used in the trading card world. But you'd end up having quite a bit more free space. So what I've heard with just doing trading cards is that you fall a little bit too victim to how that particular market is doing. So we're a little bit more diversified than that. We've got the Lego space, we've got Dungeons and Dragons, we've got the trading card side of things, and technically we also have my wife's apparel and gifts section of the store. So that does take up more room, but it also allows us to weather different markets and economical financial patterns. Wow, that got really crazy real quick. Anyway, it's good to kind of spread some things out. This stuff over here, if you were just doing that, would be great. What I'm fighting is the Lego takes up a lot of space. And so in this tiny little store, it makes it very hard. The other thing is singles. So down here, I have the trading card singles I have, and you can see they are horribly displayed. I wasn't really going to start doing singles in store. Oh, I guess I have one more section of singles back here I can show you. I've got these two boxes. Phyrexia all will be one, and Foundations. Those are my singles from those sets. It has the commons, the uncommons, and some of the cheaper rares. Doing singles takes up a lot of space, and in the size store that I have right now, I can't do it justice at all. What I love to have are some of the wall displays by Hobby Guard. I think they're called Rail Systems or something. They look fantastic, where you basically have all your cards forward facing, and it looks like it's about a 6-foot display where you can stand in front of it and look at everything. And then the bottom of it kind of tilts out so you can just kind of glance down and see everything. All right, so I remembered where I was going with all this insanity, and it was really about the size of the space. And it doesn't mean that you can't make a small space work, because I think we've done a pretty good job with what we have. But I think it's super important to consider your layout and the product that you're going to carry in that store to make sure that you have a good plan. And I think we had an okay plan. There's probably some things that I would have done a little bit differently, but we have what we have now. I could potentially rearrange some of this stuff, and I might continue to do that over time. But going in and knowing how many tables do you want set up if you're doing gaming? Do you just want one permanent? Do you want two permanent? Maybe you want 4. Maybe you want to always be able to host a 16-player tournament without moving anything else. And if that's the case, I would highly recommend that you measure how much space is needed for tables, what that would do in terms of product, because you still want your product to be accessible, and lay it out in a floor plan before you commit to any space. Because once you have the space, you can't change it. The leases on these places are really, really long, and that'll make maybe for a topic another day. Give consideration to how you want to use your space, and go in and look at other game stores to see how much space those areas take up, so that you can make good decisions when you're making that choice. That's all I've got. I hope you enjoyed the video and saw a little bit behind the scenes here in this little shop that I have down in Oxford, Michigan. If you want to support our store, obviously you can come in the doors, but you can also go to scotstoys.com. That's Toys.com. And you can browse almost all of our inventory online as well. There are some products that I can only carry in store as a part of my distributor license. So those aren't available on there. But other ways that you can support us are following us on Instagram, following us on Facebook. It's all Scots Toys everywhere. And click on the subscribe button. Go ahead and click that notification bell. Give us a like on the video. Leave us comments. All these things allow us to get our name out there, our brand out there, and help build awareness for our small space so that one day we can be in a big space and do more justice to both sides of this business. So thank you all for watching, everyone who stayed around this long. I really appreciate it, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye.